That means you could be locked up in federal prison for 7 years because you said something that could be considered hateful. What the hell is Bill C-9? Bill C-9 creates a brand new offense for hate. Now, hate is broad and can be subjective, and that itself can get you imprisoned. And by the way, when we're talking about imprisonment here, this new bill will increase prison time for hate-motivated mischief and speech from 2 years to 7 years.
Bill C-9 has sparked a lot of conversation in Canada. Many people are asking, can someone really be charged for a meme or a social media post? In this video, we're breaking down what the bill actually says, why it was introduced, and how it could affect everyday Canadians. No drama, no taking sides, just clear facts. Whether you use Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, or X, this is information you would want to know. Let's take a simple, easy look at what Bill C-9 is all about.
Beginning with my first objection to Bill C-9, I find it quite perplexing that Christian hate was not even mentioned in the bill. In recent years, we have seen alarming hate-motivated attacks, including burning and vandalism of churches across Canada. Just last week, a century-old Ukrainian Orthodox church in Edmonton was burned to the ground. As we witness a record number of sacred spaces being destroyed, Christians have noticed the government's silence. Congregations have been left in fear, and people of faith feeling abandoned by their government's lack of enforcement of existing laws. In this context, it is shocking that a bill about combating hate is completely silent on the rise of Christian hate. The government's press release mentions anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, homophobia, and transphobia, yet it makes no mention of the rise of hate crimes towards Christians. This bill does not add new protections for worshipers. Instead, it expands state powers by removing the legal safeguards and watering down the definition of hate speech. It paves a path towards politicizing restrictions on speech. It even risks criminalizing dissent to what some would call thought crimes. We must exercise caution. Once such powers are granted to the government, they can be weaponized by any government against its critics. The existing criminal code already covers the most serious offenses. Section 318 makes it a crime to advocate or promote genocide.
Bill C-9 is a proposed law in Canada focused on online harm and safety. The government says it aims to reduce serious issues like harassment, threats, hate speech, and certain types of harmful content on social media platforms. The bill introduces rules for when online posts could lead to legal consequences, and it updates old laws to apply to the digital world. One of the biggest topics people are discussing is whether jokes, memes, or everyday posts could be affected. The bill does not specifically mention memes. Instead, it focuses on content that could be considered harmful, threatening, or hateful. However, because memes are a form of communication, some people are asking whether a meme that targets a person or group could fall under these definitions. Another part of the bill deals with online platforms themselves. Companies like TikTok, Instagram, and X may need to act faster to remove certain types of content if they receive complaints or reports. This means social media companies will play a bigger role in monitoring and responding to posts. At this stage, nothing is final. Bills often go through changes, debates, and amendments before they become law. The goal of this video is to help you understand what's being discussed without taking sides. Bill C-9 is still in the works, and its final version will determine what it actually means for Canadians.
Mr. Speaker, it's essential that we continue to do what we can.
Canada's Justice Minister is in the hot seat over a deal now in jeopardy.
This particular bill, since inception, was designed to combat hate in this country.
Sean Fraser's Bill C-9 is meant to strengthen hate crime laws. following a surge of violence targeting Muslim and Jewish communities. But the Liberals are struggling to find support from opposition parties who say it infringes on civil liberties.
I look forward to collaborating with all parties in a minority parliament, and I will look forward very much to the recommendations from the Justice Committee as they consider potential amendments to the current bill.
The Bloc Québécois says they made a deal with Fraser's office to help pass C-9 through committee. It would remove a religious exemption from hate speech laws, which the Bloc says could be used as a cover for things like anti-Semitism and homophobia.
When you have a deal with a minister, that minister represents the government, and you should normally be safe with it.
But sources tell CBC News that deal is in question because Fraser's office didn't get buy-in from the Prime Minister's office. Some faith communities fear removing the religious exemption could lead to some religious texts being criminalized.
You're going to be prosecuting religious leaders in every mosque, in every church, in every synagogue.
But Jewish groups are calling on lawmakers to pass the bill as quickly as possible.
There is a vital need for concerted action coming out of our parliament to strengthen the response of police and prosecutors and to send a very clear and unequivocal message that hateful extremism has no place in Canada anywhere.
If Bill C-9 becomes law, Canadians could see a few important changes in how online content is handled. First, there may be clearer rules around posts that are considered harmful or threatening. This could include messages that target people or groups, or posts that encourage violence or harassment. The goal, according to the government, is to make the internet safer. For regular social media users, the main impact will come from how platforms respond to content. Companies may be legally required to remove certain posts more quickly once they are flagged. This means some posts that might have stayed online in the past could be taken down faster. In more serious cases, there could be legal consequences for posting content that crosses certain lines defined in the bill. Again, this does not automatically mean memes or jokes would lead to charges. It depends on the content, context, and whether the post meets the legal definition of harmful. There is also an enforcement element. The bill includes updated processes for investigators, courts, and regulators to handle cases that start online. These updates are meant to help the legal system deal with digital communication in a consistent way. Overall, if you post regularly, the main change you might notice is stricter moderation from platforms and more attention to how certain content is reported or flagged.
Oh, yeah, you want to know each of the different sentencing guidelines?
Would be nice.
Yeah, sure. So let me flip open to the specific page. What's that? Oh, just on symbols. Yeah, so I think we're dealing with a two-year penalty. So, sorry, I'm looking at different things. Let me deal with the hate penalty first. So if you're found guilty of an indictable offense, a maximum penalty under the hate crime, it will be 5 years. If the maximum term of imprisonment for the included offense is 2 years or more, but less than 5 years. 10 years if the maximum term of imprisonment is included offense is 5 years or more, but less than 10 years. 14 years if the maximum term of imprisonment is the included offense is 10 years or more, but less than 14 years. And life if the maximum term of imprisonment for the included offense is 14 years or more, and up to imprisonment for life. Intimidation, where are we here? Would be if you're guilty of an indictable offense, you'd be liable to imprisonment for a term of not more than 10 years.
Bill C-9 could have wider effects beyond individual users. One major impact could be on social media companies operating in Canada. They may be required to build new systems to track flagged content, respond within specific timelines, and report certain cases to authorities. This could change how platforms function behind the scenes. For communities and public conversations, the bill may influence how people interact online. Some believe it could help reduce harmful behavior, hate, and online harassment. Others worry that stricter rules might make people more cautious about what they post. These discussions are part of the larger debate happening across the country. Another important implication is how Canada's digital laws compare to other countries. Many countries, including parts of Europe and Australia, have introduced their own online safety laws. Bill C-9 fits into that global trend, though the exact rules differ from place to place. The long-term impact will depend on how the final law is written, how it's enforced, and how social media companies adapt to it. For now, the most important thing is understanding what the bill says and staying informed as it develops.